From AIT Studios in Abuja, Nigeria, this is the O&M Late Show with Obiora Ilo and Mamode Akuga.
Hello there. Good evening. It's another beautiful evening and it's time for the O&M Late Show. A lot has been happening around the country and around the world. So many things to talk about, but I think home here, politics is in the air. I am Obiora Ilo and Mamode is here with me.
Yes, Mamode Akuga. So nice to be here this evening. So much to talk about. Main issues are politics. Well, we are getting close again to another elections, this time the gubernatorial elections, to elect governors and their deputies and of course members of the state houses of assembly. Well, Saturday is just by the corner, but a lot is already happening. What is going to happen in different states? PDP, they're going to wake up and, just say, hey, we were once the ruling party and we could take back some of the states, or the APC is just on a march forward to just grab everything. They have the presidency now. Are they just going to go and pick up the states one after another? And Obiora, tell you the truth, we've had some defections that, are rather
Not some are embarrassing.
Some of them are very embarrassing. I mean,
some are just embarrassing.
The presidential elections were just how many days ago?
Oh my God.
And already, we have some very, very embarrassing defections. People are already moving from one party to APC, even from the former ruling party, as it were, if we can call them that now, before May 29.
They're still the ruling party.
They're still the ruling party. Already people are moving from PDP into APC.
Mamode, but you tell me, policy, don't they have integrity? Are they are they without principles? I mean, it's not up to a week after all this and people are jumping ship already.
I mean, it's, I don't even know how to describe it. Maybe that's why I'm not involved in, partisan politics, because for me, it's, look, there are some very, very worrisome defections. Just reading the news that Olushola Oke, the national legal advisor of PDP. And
the gubernatorial candidate of PDP in the very recent
elections in Ondo State. This was a man who was appointed commissioner at the NDDC, by virtue of the fact that he was a member of PDP. He's been, had a wonderful time with PDP, up to occupying the position of national legal advisor.
So he can't even persevere for 1 week.
For just 1 week already, look, I can't afford to, I don't know how it is. Maybe it's just like, I can't afford to be in opposition. I can't afford to be, I have to go to the ruling party.
Does it have to do with stomach infrastructure?
It must.
Or is it mental infrastructure?
It must have to do with stomach infrastructure, because I think that for them, you have to have a position. You have to have some of appointment. You have to be in some kind of government office.
Yes.
Otherwise, life stops.
There has to be some tap running for you.
Yeah, exactly.
How about Senator Arishe?
Yes, from Ekiti State.
From Ekiti State.
Yes, so
we understand that the president had to go out of his way to cite the federal university in his constituency, or is it in his town?
Yes. And
everything was done to make him comfortable in the PDP.
Yes,
and he's the first one to jump ship.
And so many of them already.
And then the deputy governor.
We are going to hear more defections. Today is just Tuesday, Tuesday night. So we're going to hear a lot more defections before Friday. I am certain of that, given the constitutional body makeup and mind makeup, if you like, of these politicians.
Anyway, before you started talking about the defections, we are talking about the battleground states. Rivers is one of them. Rivers is definitely one of them.
Rivers is going to be a battleground. But, for me, as a Port Harcourt boy, I'm very worried and very unhappy at the violence, the deaths. I mean, not too, how many days ago we had about nine people.
No, they have the largest number of
and then APC saying that 56 of their members have already been killed, and it's just so worrisome for me. I'm so unhappy about it. I loved the rivalry and the competition. It was good, good for Rivers politics. The competition, the rivalry, and I dare say that if Nyesom Wike manages to pull it off, this talk about zoning in Nigeria may just have been buried forever, because...
How about the bandwagon effect?
You know that he's from the same place with the current governor.
The incumbent.
So if you have a governor serving for 8 years, leaving, and then somebody from the same ethnic stock with him coming again and saying, look, we're not talking about zoning, and we're talking about merit and competence. If he's able to pull it off, a lot of people might just say, look, zoning no longer functions in Nigeria.
No, but I'm asking you because I mean, Port Harcourt is like your home base.
Yes.
How about the bandwagon effect of the presidency going to the APC? Is it not going to help the APC in Rivers State?
Oh, definitely, without a doubt. Obiora, the APC in Rivers State is already, flying high, if you like. It's going to be a bandwagon effect. But I must tell you that there were a lot of people in Rivers State who were uncomfortable with the fact that Nyesom Wike was even coming out to contest at all.
Because of where he comes from.
Just because of, he's very competent, not because of where he comes from. I mean, a lot of people were so impressed with his performance as Minister of State Education. But, coming from the same place, the Query ethnic stock, as Amechi, a lot of people thought that, the governorship needed to go somewhere else. And they really could not voice out their opinion. I mean, if I can recall very well, the only person that kept on saying that he did not like the idea was the former Director General of the SSS, A.K. Hosford, who kept on saying that, look, whichever way you look at it, the governorship needed to go somewhere else. So for APC in Rivers, they are flying high, enjoying the victory at the center.
It's a tough battle.
Yes, but why there will be some differences that already the police in Rivers State,
the security forces,
the commander of the brigade there, everybody is already, calling Amechi, Your Excellency, say Your Excellency. So things are not going to be as easy as
it was the other Saturday.
Yeah, the other Saturday.
Okay, let's go to Imo State. Imo State is another battleground. Serving governor, an APC governor is there, and is being challenged by the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives.
Both of them heavyweights.
Heavyweights. And last Saturday, the margin with which the president carried the votes was something else. There have been accusations of rigging, accusations of vote padding and all that. But on the ground, there's so much tussle going on.
No, but what I can just say is, I mean, from my personal experience, if you recall, during the rallies, I mean, Rochas organized one of the best rallies in this, campaign, the presidential campaign that was going on. If you remember very well, Rochas, who, I mean, prides himself as an orator, and to a large extent, I like him. I like listening to him. And he was talking to people of Imo and saying all sorts of things. He talked about the fact that, will you vote for me? And it was a resounding yes. And then he talked about, will you vote for the presidential candidate of the APC? Some
they were not too enthusiastic.
Yeah, they were not too enthusiastic. So I'm not surprised. Yes, I'm not surprised the result coming out of Imo State, the presidential.
So it may change.
I think that to a large extent. I mean, just judging from that rally, if I remember the rally, when he asked the question, put the question to the crowd, there was no dissenting voice for his own governorship. But when it came to the presidential, they made it clear that they were tilting towards Jonathan.
Well, Mahmoud, a lot of Igbos in Lagos State are buying their what's it called now, life jackets and all that, because they want to survive when they all jump into the lagoon.
To swim.
And that's the uproar that we've had from the address by the Oba of Lagos when he had some Igbo chiefs and their citizens come visit him at his palace.
Yes, I think that not just the Igbos should buy life jackets. I think that everybody who's not from Lagos State should buy some kind of life jacket.
But, but with due respect, I think the very revered traditional ruler went. I mean, he just got off the narrow path, and I think I don't want to say it's irresponsible. He's such a highly revered traditional ruler.
No, we will save.
But I think it was just not it.
I think that also, Nigerians. I mean, Nigeria is changing. I mean, we can see what happened from the presidential election. I think that Nigerians should now be courageous enough. When I think it was a mistake. Deep down inside, it may not have really meant that.
The way it came out.
Yeah, the way it came out. It must have been a mistake. But we must now be ready as Nigerians. When you embarrass yourself to that point, you must be ready to tender apologies immediately.
Anyway, Mamode, let's hear what the Oba said to the Igbo community when they visited.
By the time all of you left your hamlets, your villages, you can see one of you goes against the ambody I pick. That is your end. And so Lagos and the owner, for the time being, listen, because this is an undivided share. The palace belongs to the dead, the living, and those coming people. On Saturday, if any one of you, I swear in the name of God Almighty Allah, goes against my good that Ambode, inshallah, will be the next governor of Lagos State. The person is going to die inside this water. I'm not ready to beg, appeal to anybody. And that's why Ashadu and the governor says, that is your own. Even the two of them, they cannot disobey me. But nobody knew how I pick Ambode. Jimmy is my blood relation. And I told him in the plain language, he can never be governor in Lagos for now. Future belongs to God. I'm not begging anybody to go, but you must not agree. What you people cannot do in Onitsha, what you cannot do in Aba or anywhere. If you do what I want, Lagos will continue to be prosperous for you. If you go against this, you will perish in the water. Finish.
Well, I don't know who told this revered Oba that he can play God in a country like Nigeria where people have rights and all that. But like you said, maybe I don't know what happened to him. He's never been known to talk like this.
Yeah, he may have been infuriated. Something must have gone wrong. It probably was not, that is not his real normal self.
But I don't think anybody will have any excuse for this kind of
no, what I'm saying, Obiora, is that, you know, all over the world, things like this happen, you know, and then immediately, I mean, if you go to the United States, there are politicians, there are showbiz people, stars, who, out of one thing or the other, you know, some kind of racist comments just fall out of them. I mean, you remember the owner of the basketball team, what was it, one basketball team the other day, he was just having a chat, you know, and you know, those type of racist things just fall out, you know, and people are just accused of saying things they're not supposed to say. But you see, they are very quick to accept the fact that I goofed. I'm sorry if my comments hurt anybody. I am sorry about it. That's not what I meant. It was a moment of, you know, irrational reasoning and things like that. We must now be able to come out openly and say, please, I'm sorry. I mean, there's no two ways. It wasn't a good comment
a number
for
of
Nigeria.
high-ranking APC politicians in Lagos are distancing themselves from what the Oba said. But I think that it behoves on Ambode to come out clearly and distance himself from what the revered Oba has said. Because if he doesn't, my fear, and if you see what is happening in the social media, there's a lot of mobilization in the social media, this may cost Ambode the governorship of Lagos. I don't know how they're going to do the damage control.
Yes, more than any other person else. I think the Oba, you know, is the one that should talk to Lagosians and talk to Nigerians. Even, I mean, we're not in Lagos, but as a Nigerian, I feel hurt by those comments.
The language.
Yes, the language. You know, I feel hurt by it. and all Nigerians, whether you're Hausa, Yoruba, Robo, Isoko, Shakiri, wherever, you should feel some sense of hurt by it, because it means that, in one part of the country, you really have no say whatsoever.
Well, let's conclude this part of this program with what is happening in Ekiti.
Well, for a lot of...
Fayose is facing impeachment.
Yes.
He says they have to impeach God before they impeach him.
He says anybody who's planning to impeach him must impeach God first. We are getting so used to those comments from Fayose. But let's be serious now. It's going to be a battleground. There's no governorship election there, but they have election for the State House of Assembly.
Which is very important.
Which is very important, because who controls that House of Assembly will determine what happened in Ekiti, after May 29.
That is if Fayose is not impeached
if
before May 29.
Yeah, if it survives. Well, but the process, because you have to set the panel, they serve the impeachment, they serve the notice, it goes to, you have to set up a committee to investigate the blah, blah, blah. All that may last after May 29. He will
end up maybe winning the Guinness Book of Records as the man that has been impeached twice.
Yes, if that happens.
Well, we take a break. When we return, we'll bring the rest of our program. Don't go away.
Still the O&M show. Now we'll go on to take our first interview for this evening. Let's welcome on set now Mr. Jide Ojo, who is Executive Director, Deep Consults in Abuja.
Jide, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Jide, welcome.
Doing a great job.
Yeah.
Jide,
Yeah.
I mean, by your name, you're from the Southwest.
Sure.
Is there anything that we are not understanding about, for instance, the statement by the Oba of Lagos?
Is there something traditional that we are not seeing?
Well,
was he speaking English in Yoruba or Yoruba in English?
I think it was a freedom slip. It's very unfortunate. It's condemnable. It's reprehensible. It's unroyal. It's not something that should be said in the 21st century by anybody. If you recall, juxtapose what the Oba of Lagos said and what Awujale of Ijebuland told the president during his visit recently, that no Yoruba Oba can decree or coerce or force anybody to vote for anybody.
Yes.
But he welcomes everybody. You can present your manifesto, you can tell people about you, you can sell or market your candidacy, but it goes beyond decorum when a traditional ruler start behaving like a colonial master or like a district head. And I at least expected that from a very revered traditional ruler, a first-class traditional ruler like the Oba of Lagos. It's not something that, even when you look at the social media, many of us who are of Yoruba ethnic groups never supported. We hope that the Oba will do the needful by apologizing. It does happen that in a fit of anger, we all make such mistakes. That was very xenophobic. How will you say that if somebody doesn't vote for your candidate, then you will have to contend with, being drowned in a lagoon or something to that effect?
How do you think the apologies should come? The apologies should be in some category, or because yes, as offensive as that was to the Igbos, it's also probably offensive to all Nigerians.
Of course, it's embarrassing to the entire country. I don't know about grades of apologies. Even if it means issuing a press release signed by him, that might suffice. I like what the APC has done, coming out to say, look, the Oba is not our spokesperson in Lagos or in Nigeria, and that coming out with evidence of how they have embraced the Igbo, how at least three students from the Igbo ethnic groups had won the spelling bees and have been sponsored on foreign trips to Switzerland and to the university. One of them is working with an oil company and now in Canada. And of course, we also know that there is an Igbo in the cabinet of Fashola and previously with Bola Tinubu, that's Ben Akabweze. So I don't think the Oba needs that fit of anger to market his candidate. He has hurt the candidates of Ambode more than it has helped him. It has helped him, because now people are saying we're going to rebel, and we know that Lagos is, because of the political savvy nature of Lagos. We must not forget historically what happened in 1992-93, when, because of the internal crisis within the Social Democratic Party then, people revolted and voted for the late
Michael
Otodola, when the crisis between Sarumi, Dr. Sarumi and Femi Agbala-Jobi of late memory, when they couldn't resolve their issues about who should be the rightful candidate of SDP. But the entire State House of Assembly was populated by SDP, but the governorship went to the NRC. So it tells you the political savvy nature of Lagos.
Okay, Jide, let's move away from Lagos for now. Well, we can't actually move away completely from Lagos. You're an electoral expert, so to say. You've monitored a lot of elections.
Sure.
You've done a lot of studies. You're a development expert. We have a new party going to Aso Villa by May 29. What effect will that victory of the 28th have on the elections that are coming up on Saturday?
We've started seeing that. I listened to your opening remarks. Quite unfortunately, very tragic that we do not have people of integrity in our polity. What the past few days has clearly shown is that we only have opportunists parading themselves as patriots, as selfless leaders, political leaders. You mention names.
Yes.
And each time I listen to news and I saw the list of people who could not take the honorable path 6 months ago, 5 months ago, 2 months ago, 1 month ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But who, because power has changed hands, have suddenly become progressives. And now junketing and, I can even bear with the former deputy governor of Ondo State. He took a gamble on the eve of the election.
Yes.
Decamped. It could work. It could work for. It could work
yes,
again. It's just like Ekuru in
who left APC to PDP.
Rivers.
Yes.
It could work for. It could work again. But when you already knew the result, the outcome, and you are now saying because you want to have Senate presidency or you want to become speaker or you want to be majority leader or minority leader, it then shows that there is no principle in your politics.
Just the urge.
It's just the urge. It's about selfish, self-centeredness that has prompted a lot of people to, and that's why I smile each time I hear people at the soapbox saying, "My people have asked me to do this," or I'm in politics to serve my people. Who are your people? The people who gave you a mandate on the platform of a party barely a week ago, and now you are trading. You are already trading that mandate
without consultation with the people.
Election is still on. We haven't concluded the elections yet. Must everybody be at the party at the center? If people like Tinubu has not stayed the course in the opposition, do you think the victory of APC will have become realistic? People sweat, and I fear for APC. I foresee an implosion sooner than later.
Wow, a prediction already.
No, it's clear. Because when strange bedfellows are now jostling for positions, nobody, you can't all have leaders, there must be followers. Yes. But if all of you are juggernauts in your own rights, then there will be frictions. Remember, that's what killed PDP, quote and unquote. That's what led to the political demise of PDP. Look at a place like Ondo. When did the PDP crisis in Ondo got consummated? It was when the governor, they come from Labour back to PDP. Yeah. And then the people who have sweated, who have stayed the course,
PDP for all this while,
they now became second-class citizens. Because a governor comes in, he becomes automatically the party leader. So people like Olushola Oke, who didn't decamp, who had been in the party, nurturing the party, people have started selling forms. The party has started selling forms. People have aspired under their leadership. Now, few months to election, the governor became automatically the party leader. And of course, everybody becomes backbencher.
So are we seeing a spate of the campaign as a result of revolt?
It's a revolt in its own right, but it's not totally a revolt. It's also positioning. Let's go to Edo State.
Yes.
General Raveri, sorry, I don't know how
the
to
PDP,
the PDP
flag bearer in the last election.
In 2013.
Yeah.
Just yesterday or 2 days ago, they camped to APC. what is the motive? This is the same person you fought a very fierce battle with, electoral battle with. Now you are in the same boat. But the man is smart enough to know that if he is going to win the next governorship election, remember the Oba of Lagos said, you are a Benin man. For now, I'm supporting Oshiomhole.
The Oba of Benin.
Then said, look, I'm supporting Oshiomhole. You can take your turn after Oshiomhole will have done his 2 terms. And that also brings to question the role of traditional institutions in our polity.
Yeah, because I heard Akiolu clearly saying that neither that Tinubu and all this, they didn't know how he picked Ambode.
Yes,
he said none of them knew how I picked Ambode.
He said the gods told him that that's the next government. And I asked, okay, let's interrogate that a little. When I read that thing yesterday, the first thing that came to mind is, if the gods have already endorsed someone, you don't need to help the gods.
Yes, you don't lift the finger.
The gods can
help themselves. Because it's a done deal. It's a fait accompli, isn't it? When you say the gods have ordained you.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't help the gods, because we read in the Bible when Gideon wanted to the prophet of is it Baal or whatever, and then some people are saying that you know, I don't, let me not turn this into a religious sense. but the bottom line is this: if he says the gods have endorsed somebody and that is the next governor, he said that much earlier, give it to him.
Yes.
That like middle of last year.
Exactly.
He said that this is the next governor of Lagos.
Yes.
But let him leave it at that. Let the electorates decide. Because we are not going to count the gods, we are going to count the votes. Yeah. It's the votes of the people that matter. So let the gods speak to the people that this is the candidate you should vote for. Yeah. But if he had left it at that, it wouldn't have been offensive.
Yes.
Because, like I said, Oba of Lagos also openly endorsed Oshiomhole. Yeah. And the heavens didn't fall. Yes. The Oba of Benin, rather, openly endorsed Oshiomhole, and heavens didn't fall, and people didn't query him. But where he overstepped his fundamental rights is to threat to other ethnic groups that if you don't toe the line, as if it's a school principal talking to students.
But you know, they say democracy is a game of numbers.
Yeah, it is.
In the last election, I mean, I'm talking about the National Assembly elections. Yeah. Even in Lagos State, we have an Igbo who won.
Two
Igbos who won.
And then one from Delta.
Yes, and one from Delta State.
And then two
who won.
One of them who even decammed from APC because of the issues with the primaries. Yes. One under Accord Party.
Yes, under Accord Party. So you already have people who are not traditionally from Lagos who are already winning elections in Lagos by virtue of, you know, the fact that democracy is a game of numbers.
It's a game
I mean, the man who won in that Ojo area, the Alaba area, you know how dominated that area is with Igbos and all that. So these people have a sizable number. Does it still matter, really? You know, what, for instance, the issue of this is my land, so I must be the person representing. I'm in Abuja now. Can't I run for an office in Abuja?
Yeah, it's a very legitimate question, but it throws us back to the issue of indigenous settler, which has been plaguing this country for a very long time. You know, that's the bane of Plateau State.
Yes,
that's the same issues we have had
a couple of
other states.
Yes.
That if you are non-indigenous, quote and unquote, you don't seem to have any political rights beyond just voting in that place, which is not good enough. I recall also that even when former Senator Mamora was contesting, people threw up issues about his ancestral home being in Ogun State, and that he shouldn't have a
even for Tinubu as well.
Even for Tinubu, that his ancestral home is Osun State, and you know, let's look at what happened in Adamawa some years ago. when Folashade Bent,
Yes.
who is a Yoruba lady, got to
Married.
represent, but married to an Adamawa man, got to represent Adamawa as a senator in the National Assembly. But you see, this is the problem with our constitution, the issue of indigent settler, making a demarcation. Citizenship is at the heart of this discourse. What gives you a citizenship? Birth, naturalization, or through a kind of if you apply or something,
To government
you get that. But we are all indigents of where we are by virtue of our birth, primarily. But people should not also get something twisted. This discrimination or perceived discrimination does not start and end between one ethnic group and the other, or between one tribe and the other. Let me share a little story of mine with you. In the early 90s, I did an examination to enter a polytechnic in the Southwest. I did very well, 204 over 300. But do you know what? I was denied admission ab initio because I was not from the state. I mean, we are talking of Yoruba.
Yes.
I scored 204. The cutoff mark for out-of-state indigent was 203. Shouldn't I be packing my luggage to start school?
Yes.
But it took another 3 months of persistence, of lobbying. In fact, somebody saw me at the registrar's office and said, Jide, what are you doing here? You scored 204. And you are here at the admission officer's office. Wow. Shouldn't you go to the rector and meet him and tell him your story? I went to the rector, no way. I went to the registrar. The registrar said, okay, I'll see what I can do. Come back some other time. And I went for 3 months, as if I didn't merit it. So it tells you the story of how we have this issue of discrimination has permeated and percolated into our entire fabric of the society.
Yeah, Lagos will probably lead Nigeria out of that, because as we speak, in spite of the fact that the Oba has said the gods have ordained somebody, there is an Igbo man contesting governorship in Lagos, or the party, or what is it called? APGA, all Progressive Grand Alliance. So there's an Igbo who is contesting to be governor of Lagos State.
It's a legitimate
so
right.
Lagos can lead Nigeria, show Nigeria the example of how you don't have to be from the place to contest.
You see, if we are copying presidential system of government, we should copy the good side of it. Let's go to America. Arnold Schwarzenegger, his ancestral home is Austria, but he got to become the president, the governor of California, two-time governor of California.
And the only reason he didn't run for president was because he was not a native born.
Born American. So, but he was a governor.
Yes.
And people knew his ancestors. They know it's not originally from the US. So I think the time has come for us to blunt all these divisive lines of because
where you come from,
this comes up during politics, and it's people are silent about it, and ironically, it has also crept into our academic institution.
Okay, Jide, let's leave that area and conclude our conversation
on the elections on Saturday.
Yes, in Ekiti, there is a battle going on.
An impeachment law.
An impeachment, and of course, the elections of Saturday that will throw up members of the House of Assembly. And as far as Fayose is concerned, those, he called them jesters and imposters, because according to him, they are not actually the authentic members of the House of Assembly. 19 against, I think, 7. Yes. So how do you think it will pan out?
It's another sad episode in our democracy. It's not something that we should be indulging in the 21st century. first, two wrongs don't make a right. Governor Fayose erred by using 7 against 19, and think you can get away with it.
And our system allowed it.
Because there are precedents. You see, there are precedents because impeachment is always political.
Yes.
So you don't play two states, even Nasarawa, or your state when Ladoja was removed for 11 months.
Failed attempt in Rivers.
In Rivers, in Adamawa and the rest of it. So impeachment is always political. So it doesn't stand to reason, because how can you say and 6 of those, it was like only one person was PDP before October 16.
Yeah, that's right.
2014, when Governor Fayose was inaugurated. But 6 of them decamped on that day, on October 16. Meanwhile, the only female PDP member had previously decamped to APC when Segun Oni became a member of APC. Because she is from Segun Oni's constituency, from former Governor Segun Oni's constituency. So it was like 26, entirely 26 of them from APC. But Governor Fayose was able to poach, or his party,
6 of them.
Do you think that Fayose will survive this?
It's neither here nor there. The tension is high, and I think it will be very difficult for those who have initiated that impeachment plot to survive, to succeed, because Governor Fayose is a grassroots person, and a lot of empathy is coming his way. If you read what people are saying, I mean, this is an overkill. Why are you doing this? Just because you now belong to the party at the center and the rest of it. So, but you can't put it, because now the former speaker or the main speaker who was removed, his security details have been restored. So it now has some legal feeling. So it's a political game.
I think we'll leave Jide at this point. Let's Jide, thank you so much.
Thank you so much
for
joining us tonight, and your mug, something to go home with.
Thank you very much. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Jide.
And when we return, we have Celine Dimas, actress, producer, and singer, joining us. Don't go away.
Are you watching Nigeria's biggest late night show?
I think the government is doing its best.
Buhari himself is an issue. Just as the Buhari organization has made Goodluck Jonathan an issue.
We have laws, we have institutions set up to fight corruption.
Advocacy for the Chibok girls is born out of what they symbolize.
The average Nigerian wants to know, what do you have for him?
Fani Kayode was with us for a while.
What happened?
I think he came on a journey and discovered that we were too transparent for him.
A banking license was cancelled in one day, and a license was cancelled in one day.
When I was retrenched, it became worse. Sometimes to even find food to give to the children was hell.
Don't tell us you want a nation that will be the most powerful black nation on the earth. We all want it. How are we going to get it?
O&M Late Show and O&M Sunday Show with Obiora Ilo and Mahmoudia Koga. Tuesdays, Fridays, 11 p.m. and on Sunday, 2 p.m.
You're watching the O&M Late Show, and joining us in a moment is one of the faces you see on TV. She scored a high one when she did a remix of that very popular song by one of Nigeria's great artists, Oliver Twist. I'm talking about Celine Dimas. Celine is joining us. As she's doing that, we are showing you a little of her video. that remix that went viral on the internet. Sally, you're welcome.
So,
thank you.
Welcome. Sit, please.
I don't know if we have the video. If we have it, can we roll it?
Time in every single little thing I do. Organize my thoughts and get it right. But sometimes now I can get it wrong, but it's okay. I'm only human. I live and learn.
Well, some clips we are getting there. I'm sure we'll still get the musical video, but clips of a movie you're watching. So, welcome once again.
Thank you very much.
So, actress, singer, how do you manage everything?
I try. I actually started with acting. I did a lot of soap operas. I did soap opera for NTA for 2 years, Hills and Valleys. That's how I started. And then I decided to just try singing. It wasn't like, I just decided to try it, and I got into the studio, and that was the first time I heard the Banjis Oliver Twist. You know, I was like, okay, let me do something with this, you know, and then I worked with the producer and I got something out. I didn't expect it to be anything serious. I was just having fun in the studio, but it came out well, you understand? And then after that, I decided to start producing.
Okay. So for you, which is more exciting?
I'm going to say acting. I love acting more than any other thing because it gives me a chance to be able to be who I'm not. You understand? Try and work with my creativity. And that's really exciting for me.
One of your first productions, I mean, when you went into production, was this short film, Psycho.
Well, not really. I actually produced 2 musical videos.
Oh, before that?
Before those.
But you know, when I watch Psycho, I'm wondering, what message are you trying to send? That a lot of Nigerians are psychos?
Not at all, not at all. I like to think out of the box. I like to do what people haven't tried, you understand? And I was thinking, I was trying to create something that has to do with flashback. You understand? Which is something that has not been tried in Nigeria yet. So I came up with this storyline and I got somebody to script it for me. And so I'm just trying to, the story is just about, is a lady who has psychological issues, but the husband was not aware of any of it. You understand? Until he cheated on her and things just went wrong.
And they just went bam.
Bam. You know, so sometimes you live with somebody you don't even know who you're living with. You don't know anything about the person, or if the person has any psychological issues or medical issues and stuff like that. So that's really, really important. You need to know who you live with most of the time.
Until it comes out.
Yes, exactly.
One day.
And then she ended up killing him. So.
Wow. It's the kind of stuff you see in movies.
It's a movie.
I mean, the kind of stuff you see in movies about.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, that you don't really understand people.
Yeah.
You know, until.
So Celine, acting, singing, production.
Yeah, you should add directing to it.
Very soon. Directing? Oh, very soon. Well, they say jack of all trades.
Exactly.
Master of none or master of all?
Master of all.
Well, what challenges I mean, you're a young woman, and I know that when you go into production, to directing, sometimes it takes a lot. Finances, time, energy. Tell us about the challenges of young people like you trying to break through in this business.
I think the major part is that people don't really believe in you. So I did a lot of talking before I shot Psycho. I talked and talked. People didn't just want to listen to me. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to put my money into this stuff. shooting myself and then show people that, you know what, I can really do this.
Do something.
You understand? Because Nigerians don't believe in talk. They don't believe in you talking to them. They don't believe in papers anymore, you understand? They want to see action, you understand me? So I think getting a sponsor is very, very challenging as a producer, very, very. The acting part, sometimes, you know, you go for auditions, castings and stuff like that, and you're probably better, but somebody else gets it based on some other stuff that I don't want to get into. Yes. You understand? So it's very challenging, and I think that's one of the reasons I decided to start producing, because I wanted to future myself more, because a lot of people were not giving me a chance to do that. So
okay. So what did you train at? You know, what's your original training?
I didn't go for any form of training in showbiz industry at all, none. But I did history and international relations in school, but nothing about show business. But I'm trying to do a course on directing right now. Not in Nigeria though.
Okay. So when did this part of you, when did it start manifesting?
I think it started when I was in secondary school. I actually used to be a presenter for a show called DTD Jam Show. It was a live show. So I did it with
TV?
Yeah, on TV. I did it with Mandy and Nsei, and I did it for a while I was still in school, you know, but that's how
What part of the country was that?
Lagos.
Okay, Lagos.
In Lekki Beach.
Oh, okay.
So that's how I started the whole showbiz stuff.
Oh, okay.
So you've done this for a while. Tell us where you're going to.
Oh, I hope to win an award. Who knows, maybe next year. This multi-choice award. I would really love that. So I'm
okay, that would be for acting. For
producing, for acting, for directing.
You're not talking about winning an award for singing.
Well, I'm not. I don't take singing as serious as I take acting and producing. Okay. I love to sing, don't get it wrong, but I prefer to sometimes just sing in my house. I think that's more fun for me.
So what do you have in the works at the moment?
Oh, I'm trying to work on an online show, which is my stuff, so I'm going to be producing it.
Tell us about it. What is it going to look like?
Well, I really do not want to put it out there too much so people don't get to, you know, steal my concept. But it's just an online talk show to talk about things, basic things that's going on among the youths, relationships, marriage and stuff like that. So we're just going to be talking. I made it online because I want to have freedom of speech to be able to say whatever I want to say. Okay. Understand? Yeah. So that's why it's online.
All right. I can appreciate that.
Well, Celine, it's been quite a pleasure speaking with you. We hope that when most of these things you're cooking right now, when when they get all cooked up, that you'll be back to talk about it.
If I'm invited, why not?
Well, we leave it open. Here we are, just to tell everyone you were on the O&M Late Show.
Thank you very much.
We hope you'll come several times so that we have many mugs.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, that's our package for today.
Yes, and of course we look up to Saturday. Elections. Everybody's waiting for the governorship elections. We've had the presidential, very peaceful, contrary to speculations. And I hope that Saturday's elections, gubernatorial elections and State House of Assembly will also be quite peaceful.
Yeah, the presidential was quite peaceful, lauded across the world. Let's not spoil this show. Let's not dent our glory. Let's all go out this weekend, vote, and more importantly, be peaceful.
Yes.
I'm Obiorilo from Abuja, Nigeria. Thanks for joining us.
I am Mahmoud Akuga. Thank you so much. Bye for now.